I'm just having to record on my phone for a bit, just because it's raining, and normally once I've got my camera out I don't want to put it back. Christ, that's so shaky. So yeah, once it sort of stops I'll get that back, but we're just leaving the car park. Fly. Footpath is closed apparently, no access to the bottom of the waterfall, but anyway, there's better ones out there. So I'm just going to crack on with the Ullswater Way. It's like, just, is it gonna, there's just tons of views like right through to the lake. It's absolutely gorgeous through the forest. I think one of the reasons I recommend doing the route anti-clockwise is so that you get all of the views down towards like the bulk of the Lake District and the mountains, but this way it's pretty beautiful too, I would say. Ankle nearly went there. Just to point out, I had to walk up that bit twice to get that shot. Well, super early first impressions. Two things. Firstly, it's actually really cool. I didn't know if I'd be a bit kind of underwhelmed or not by this. Obviously, Ullswater is a beautiful lake, but I don't know, I've never really been that interested in walking around it, if I'm completely honest, but it's actually been really cool so far, and I've probably only walked about a mile. So you go like the forest bit round about Air Force, really cool. It's lovely as well, like just the fact that it's just been raining, it's now stopped. But when I was walking through there, like just all the drips coming off the thing, because although I'm wearing headphones, there's no actual music on them yet. I just don't want to have to get them out later. And then behind me, I just let that come into focus. You've got now, as soon as you come out of the woods, or I guess if you were doing it anti-clockwise, you get this before the woods. It's just like beautiful sweeping views of the lakes. One thing though that I would say straight away is there's no signposts, which, I mean, I'm generally against signposts, but for something like this, I was expecting it to be like a marked trail, but it's actually not. Just going to retract what I said earlier about there being no signs. This one is quite clearly marked, and I'm not sure, I'll have to look back at my footage from earlier. I'm not sure if the others were marked as well and I just didn't notice or not, but yeah, anyway, there's signage. We're only, what, 2 miles in or something now, I would say, maybe 3. It's already getting quite warm and the sun's not even popped yet. It's going to be a hot day. So, first, Jesus Christ, first pit stop already. My heel has got soft already, and Jesus Christ, it's already starting to hurt. I did put some plasters in, but I'm not sure where. But yeah, it's just I think just because it's quite hot, and these trainers are, although they're not that old, they're pretty battered. The backs are all coming out of them. I only got them about 6 months ago, but They've climbed about 95% of all the mountains of England in winter, so they're understandably a bit bad. One thing I'm noticing already, more noticeable than anything else that's really going on at the minute, is the amount of flies. I haven't seen this many flies this year in one place yet, so it's definitely a sign that summer's here, but I'm not complaining. One top tip to stop flies from going in your ears: put some headphones in. Oh, Christ. Oh, shit. I haven't even put my keys back in my bag. I am, at this point in my life, immensely disorganised. And we move, that feels a lot better. Another sign, even though you can't go wrong. I was immensely wrong about the signs. There's no way I'm walking up that twice for a shot. My ankle is already causing major problems. I feel like the plaster's just almost immediately come off, which makes sense because it was very damp. So yeah, not a good start. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just make sure I can get to Pulley Bridge, and there's actually so many signs, but yeah, I'm going to make sure I can get to Pulley Bridge and get some scissors, and once I've got scissors, I've got some KT tape in my bag, and I can replaster and then just put some KT tape over it, and that'll hold it for the rest of the day. But yeah, not the best of starts. We go on. So the rest of this section between Goldbarrow and Pulley Bridge is mainly a mixture of farm fields and fairly decent paths, and of course lots of farm animals, mostly sheep, but there's quite a lot of cows as well. There's one that's just like staring at me, and it just licked its lips as well. Hopefully it's not going to eat me. There's a bull, there's a sign, and there is a path. Literally, he's basically stood on it. We've now got another field full of fucking cows. Well, yeah, that's right, you stay there. I'm just coming into Pulley Bridge now. I've been looking forward to this bit since my ankle started hurting, because it's a chance to get some scissors, but now I'm actually here. It's kind of weird. It's good practice for being new to YouTube, because this is the first time I'll sort of actively vlog in front of people where they can sort of see, and it's a little bit nerve-wracking. I'm not gonna lie, like, it doesn't really come that naturally to me, but I'm kind of forcing myself to just do it all the way past this restaurant, which, to be fair, is quite quiet at the minute. To try and build up a tolerance and make this normal, essentially. And I'm just heading down the east side of the lake now. It gets quite fun at this point. How are we doing? From here I'm sort of heading, not quite home, but once I've done the length of the lake, which is something I can kind of easily see getting eaten up, I've only got like 4k left on the other side, so still only about a third of the way through, just over a third, but yeah. So far so good. My feet are a lot better now and patched up. I would say, roughly speaking, I'm about halfway around now. I've never really done anything sort of like this where I've just kind of walked around one of the lakes, but it's really cool how each sort of section has like something different to it. So like there might be a bit that's a massive campsite, and then there'll be a bit that's like a quiet bay after that, and then there'll be a bit that's like farm fields, and then there's a little bit of mountainy bit. Yeah, it's really kind of refreshing. Like it changes every few kilometers. So yeah, so far I'm actually a big fan of this. My feet are doing alright, they're hanging in there like out there, but my toes are starting to butch now as well. My socks are too thick, I think, and they're just causing my feet to sweat like all sorts, but we're still smiling, and I am really enjoying it, so yeah, so far so good. There is still about 14 kilometres left, maybe 15. And my feet are definitely too hot. My toes are quite sore, and it's a little bit concerning that this is all after like 15 kilometres, considering I was slightly thinking about doing a Cumbria Way instead of this, which is like just over treble the distance, in fact closer to 4 times the distance. So yeah, maybe a little bit off that, a little bit out of practice. My toes are in bits, to be honest. Like I would say on my left foot, the biggest 3 are having problems, and we'll start to blister before the end. And on my left foot it feels like the big one, the one next to it, and then the little one. But I'm not that bothered. It's quite good to have a bit of pain. I don't need my feet to not have blisters this coming week, so I can't be bothered to stop and do anything about it. Just for reference, though, if you do start to get any kind of pain or discomfort when you're doing a long distance hike, put a plaster on it then, even if it's just hurting just slightly, just feeling a bit warm or just a bit uncomfortable, like plaster it immediately. Don't wait till it becomes a blister, because then it's not too late, but it's just a lot harder to deal with. And if you're doing multi-day things, blisters take managing, they take cleaning, they take patching up. It's just extra work, whereas you can stop for literally 2 minutes, stick a plaster on, you're sweet. But yeah, for today I'm just going to let them blister if they do. If not, then we're sweet. I'll be spending the week in flip-flops, so it's no biggie, and it's good practice to get a bit of pain. Yeah, just to show you now, the lake kind of opens up again behind me. Yeah, it's another nice section, this. A little bit rougher underfoot, but nothing major. Yeah, I've gone quite a bit slower than expected with having to film everything, so it's just to make up a little bit of time. I've just started to run a little bit. Well, you can even call this running. feet are bollocks, but that's just a bad choice of socks. Old footwear. That can be fixed easily. Yeah, my body's held well so far. Anyway, I've decided I'm going to try and catch these cars. Just to give myself a little push the next 400 metres or so. Jesus Christ. I don't know if it's happening. We got a bit of downhill though. Can't slow down on downhill, but Laurie doesn't. How are we doing, guys? That's kind of taking it out of me a bit, but legs feel alright. Just my lungs just unfit at the minute, but I enjoyed that. Nice little bit of competition, even though the drivers of the vans had absolutely no idea what was going on. I enjoyed it. That short run might not have finished me off, but definitely made me overheat, so the top's finally off. I'm surprised it took this long, to be honest. Top up my my rucksack tan, but just on the last stretch now. There isn't really much to see on this bit. It's sort of 5k basically on the road. You kind of nip in and out, but it's pretty much you just follow the road to through Patterdale, through Glenriddin, and then back to Air Force. Obviously, just to say again, like, I haven't done this in the normal way. This would normally be about halfway around. My feet are starting to gain now as well, like worse than ever, which I think is partly because of a run, and I just had cramp behind my knee, which is cool. But again, we're nearly there now. 4k or something, and then home and dry. So I am back. I'm recording this on my phone, so sorry if the sound quality is not as good. My camera has had enough, it's in the back. Just to show you, got my medal from Earned It Co. Hard earned. My feet are killing me. I'm definitely a bit dehydrated. For some reason, I took electrolytes and then couldn't find them when I started cramping. So that's cool, but yeah, really good route. Loved it, loved seeing the different bits of Ullswater that I never had before, and it was a nice challenge as well, especially in the heat. It was just kind of a right amount that I wanted, and I finished in about 7.5 hours in the end. If you liked it, you liked watching, interested in anything like this, whether it's challenges, waterfalls, long distance stuff, fitness, whatever, please give me a subscribe, and thank you for watching.